Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the tier 10 Japanese carrier, the Hakuryu. However, this is a very old match. This is, I think, the second video of World of Warships I posted. The first few videos I posted about World of Warships didn't have commentary, and because it has been a year now that I have done World of Warships videos, or well, YouTube in general, I decided to simply give commentary to that first one. This one was titled My First Hakuryu Match, so it might very well be my very first match in the Hakuryu. So, this is during the testing time in the beta. I mean, you can probably tell by the fact that, first of all, there are very few players, and second of all, there is no mirror carrier matchmaking. They have a Hakuryu and a Shokaku, and I am simply one Hakuryu. Thing is, I did already play the Taihawk quite a bit before this, so I had quite an idea on how to play this. By the way, the reason why I went immediately towards the map edge is because this was the time when anti-air was a lot weaker, and ship maneuverability was still as bad as it is now. And well, the first thing people always did was to strike at the enemy carrier, and because there are two carriers, there is absolutely no way you can survive it unless they mess it up. They have to screw it up. I can't do anything there. By the way, there are no strafing or anything like that here, so I don't really have to worry about the fighter just strafing all my torpedo bombers down. Thing is, this was during the time when cruisers weren't very keen on defending their carriers, so essentially the only thing I can really do is to go to the map edge, because this was during the time when map edge didn't slow you down. And the thing is that, well, the difficulty on doing carrier drops at the map edge is still there, or not still, but is there. So essentially my plan is to be at the map edge, wait for the enemy carrier to strike, and then just try to dodge it using the map edge, because they have to drop a bit further away. And because the immovability of carriers at this stage of the game, well, I think it's necessary. This is why I also thought that, look, the carrier planes are coming in, I can already see them. Torpedo bombers and dive bombers and stuff, and because, you know, there are two of them, the carriers that is, they most likely could kill me in one strike easily. But I mean, because this is the common plan, I'm gonna do the same to them. I actually like the fact that carrier play revolved around being on the map edge, because it was actually pretty difficult to dodge them on the map edge, and it was rather difficult to attack them on the map edge. So my first strike is the enemy Hakuryu, I think. Because that ship's bigger, easier to hit, not to mention she is closer. My dive bomber diversion worked out with the fighters following, but I will fly them around the Shokaku. The Shokaku isn't really much of a threat in terms of anti-air. By the way, these scout planes actually, I don't actually remember. Do they attack carriers planes? I don't remember. Anyways, look at this, they are gonna do a strike, but because I am at the map edge, the torpedo bombers have a harder time doing the strike. Also, there were no premium consumables, so I'm gonna strike the enemy Hakuryu here. Look, I'll show you what happens if you are not on the map edge, or weren't on the map edge. Okay, they struck, but because I was at the map edge, they couldn't drop close by, so I just slowed down and turned away. And let's see what happens to the enemy carrier. Okay, and well, I am at 43,000 HP. And the enemy carrier is almost dead. I'm just gonna use the dive bombers to do the strike. By the way, look at the size of the drop circles. These are manual drops, not automatic. And goodbye, Hakuryu. That's just what happens in one strike. Not to mention, they had two carriers, so what the hell was I supposed to do? Sadly, this is the Shokaku's plane, so these will drop again. But luckily I am positioned incredibly well for that drop, so I should take some minimal damage, or at least live. But look at how mad the people are. The reason why they're mad is because, well, they just don't know how to drop on the edge as well. And I can understand it, it's not very easy to do. Especially at this time, because it wasn't very common. Unfortunately, I took that one torpedo. And look, these kinds of mind games you can do and dodge if you're on the map edge. Like, most people didn't like hiding on the map edge because it made shooting them with guns more difficult. But the reason you did it in carriers was because that was the only way to survive the drops. After they changed the map edge things, the things that happened were pretty crazy. Like, you would see these divisions of a carrier player and a cruiser player. And what would happen is that the carrier player would go next to an island, and the cruiser player would go next to that carrier. So the carrier would be between the island and the cruiser, so that you can't drop torpedoes on them. And the cruiser would just sit there the entire match. Literally the entire match. Okay, maybe not the entire match. Like, the first 13 or 14 minutes. And the only way to fight against that was to, do the same thing yourself. Or have, like, a pocket cruiser that would protect you. So this is what I didn't like, and why I thought the map edge thing was great. And that's why I think the new changes for the anti-air consumable on a carrier are also great, because they mean that if you don't have a pocket cruiser, you're still fine as a carrier. Although, because, you couldn't have taken advantage of the map edge hiding yourself anyway. But yeah, I mean, I struck one carrier down. Essentially, the next attack is either the second carrier, because I only have 11,000 HP. If the Shokaku comes back, she might just kill me. By the way, there were no premium consumables at this time, I think. I think, at least. I'm not entirely sure, though. Like, look, Devil's Dog says that everybody can stay at the map edge and avoid everything, but it's not really true. You can't really avoid everything. Especially if the other guy knows how to drop on you at the map edge. Anyways, I cycled my torpedo bombers, and now I'm gonna go hunt the Shokaku down because she's the number 2 threat.
Group 2, standing by for instructions. Over. Group 4, awaiting instructions. Group 3,
Thing is, I don't want to keep heading in that direction on the map edge because there were people coming from D. I don't want to turn outside the map edge because that will just make the turn longer because I'm turned the other way. I just need to get away from them. Dying would be bad, although I think at this point we would still win even if I did die, but I want to hunt that Shokaku down. By the way, destroyers at this time could actually permanently smoke. That is, you could use all of your consumable charges of smoke one after another, and on most destroyers you would actually be inside smoke the entire time. Smoke would never dissipate because smoke lasted longer and I think the cooldown was lower. And Wargaming actually never compensated destroyers for taking this away from them. So that's actually something that I think hurt torpedo destroyers a lot. But I can understand it. The reason was that there were some closed beta tournaments or something like that where people would have the strategy of like 2 destroyers, and the entire team would be inside the smoke of those 2 destroyers, and they would keep it smoked literally for the entire match. Okay, maybe not the entire match, but like 90% of it. You can't really do anything against that. Okay, so now I found the Shokaku, and it seems she didn't quite get to the map edge. By the way, look at the minimap, it cut off that edge. By the way, the 1 year of YouTube videos has been pretty great. I'll be making another video that will talk about the kinds of views I've got, and I will also make a clip of the best moments I've had with them. But those will come at a later time because I have a large Grand Naval Battles depth in videos. But now it's time for Devil's Dog to get hit, and let's see how he dodges the torpedoes. Hint, not at all. Like, he might survive the torpedo strike, but or never mind. And then he asks me why I hid on the map edge. Well, that happened. Of course, number 1 with 1800 experience, but I only struck 2 carriers down, 110k damage, 6000 experience. That's an okay result. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.